Well, ladies and gentlemen, our forum today seems like a sort of an off-site session. I think it's not by chance that we're meeting here in Baku, and Professor Faliko talked about it at great length. We are in the heart of the most important areas in the Eurasian continent. Historically, Azerbaijan has always been a bridge between Asia and Europe along the Silk Road. Baku is at the crossroads of the north and south, east and west. And it is also part of all the corridors of energy resources as well. We know that Azerbaijani petrol was the beginning of the energy trade in the world. It is quite symbolic that we are here where the ideas of the world trade were created. We have now shifted to a world industry. Now I'm very happy to give the floor to Professor Rajnav, President of the State Oil Company of Azerbaijan, SOCAR. According to you, in the current context, how is this market going to develop?
Daha çətin vəziyyətə qoydu. Və çox dolğun, məzmunlu bir hesabatla, təqdimatla çıxış elədi. Və bunun eyni zamanda əsas məğzunə keçməmişdən əvvəl cənab Kostinlə verdiyi sual da mən çox düşündürür ki, Verona ilə Bakı arasında hansısa əlaqə varmı? Onun dediyindən başqa
I thought about your question whether there is a connection
qəbul edir.
between Verona and Baku, and there are some common points. There are both very beautiful cities.
Əslində
We need to understand the roots of what is happening. What is happening today is not the result of decisions made in the last 5 to 6 months. The roots are much deeper and they go back in time. Energy security is a phenomenon that hadn't been discussed for some time. It was an issue or something that was being overlooked. And in international platforms, we mainly discussed about the 2040-2050 goal, but we overlooked energy security in discussing the transition. When we talk about energy sources, oil and gas are seen as a source of energy that is not that relevant anymore. A lot of focus has been put on green energy and on pollution. However, this does not mean that we should just abandon oil and gas. We need to give consumers energy with great responsibility. As I am the president of an energy company, I would like to say that one of our goals is not only to supply energy, but it is also our goal and our priority to supply energy with responsibility and safety and security. When we make decisions, our goal must be to ensure the energy security of consumers in a continuous and stable manner. Also, if we look at what happened in the past few years in terms of financing oil and gas energy projects, well, we can see that these projects have not been heavily funded. In March this year, many banks at the global level funded but banks who wanted to fund projects were boycotted by politicians. This is not something that started at the beginning of this year. The roots are much deeper. We need now, we need to think of the right way to cover the energy need of consumers. So we must understand the main characteristics of the oil and gas policies. When you start an oil and gas project until the provision of energy, well, it takes 10 years. And this is important to remember. When consumers ask for more energy now, it's not something that can be done overnight, because the times for a project are quite long. It takes a long time to organize the supply process. The European Union needs to understand this realistically, because, as I said before, the oil and gas sector today is considered as something dirty, polluting, a source of energy that needs to be avoided. But the reality and daily life show us that at least until 2040, 2050, we will need these sources too to cover all of our energy needs. And I'm not just saying it as a supplier of energy, I am saying it also because we need to remember that oil has an important role in the industry of raw materials. The oil price fluctuations have an impact on producers of fertilizers, for instance. It also has an impact on food prices. We need to always keep in mind the peculiarities of this sector, and I think it is important and appropriate to invest in these projects. International cooperation, exchanges of experiences, and developing technologies is essential. But we need equal opportunities if we want to make this sector grow. As soccer in the oil and gas sector, we are a safe supplier. We carry out our projects with responsibility. We work with international partners. We have discussed with our partners the possibility to work on green energy projects too. We are a global company. We provide stable and continuous energy. We are also looking at green energy projects. This is one of our goals. But of course, our main asset is the human capital to make all of this possible. Now, to conclude my speech, I would like to say that with our partners, and especially with Russian companies, well, we're happy to cooperate and work together. We believe that we can share ideas and mutually benefit from our joint efforts.
Grazie a lei, Joaf.
Thank you. We have another guest online, the Minister of Oil from India, Argip Singh Puri. We are not seeing him, but I'm sure he will soon be with us. Hopefully he will be able to listen to us and also speak to us. Let us see if the connection is on. Very well. Well, good morning. Good morning.
Executive Officer of Rosneft.
Bene, siamo lieti di poterla vedere.
Well, we're happy to be hearing you.
For me to participate in the 15th Eurasian Economic Forum, even though only virtually. I had the privilege to address the 14th Eurasian Economic Forum as well. This forum has emerged as a key event to discuss new geopolitical, social and economic order for transition towards a new human-centered economy.
Esatto, e allora noi cogliamo
Yes, so we would like to seize this opportunity.
Abbiamo qualche secondo di sfrido.
But also they have disturbed the pace of the energy transition. Friends, India's energy demand is expected to grow at about 3% per annum till 2040. This compares to the global rate of 1% as India's share in global energy demand doubles to 11%, the largest growth in that period for any country. We have taken several measures to overhaul the hydrocarbon policy framework to ensure energy security for the country while pursuing the green path to progress. The profound changes initiated by India during the last 8 years to meet its energy needs with technologies like green and blue hydrogen, biofuels, waste to wealth through compressed biogas program, to name just a few. The strides that India has made in renewable energy, especially solar, is for the entire world to witness. India's ethanol blending program has resulted in a significant jump in a blending percentage. We have already achieved 10% blending ahead of the targeted timeline. We have advanced the 20% ethanol blending target by 5 years to 2025. We are also working on a carbon capture and storage technologies, battery technology and electric vehicles going forward. We are keen to collaborate with Eurasian countries and companies in these fields. With an objective to increase domestic production of oil and gas, we have declared this policy has been so dramatically changed successfully to reduce the no-go areas by almost 99%. This was done in April this year, opening up approximately 0.91 million square kilometers area for exploration and production. In fact, we recently launched the offshore bid rounds and special CBM round, which have received a very good response. Friends, India and countries of the Eurasian Economic Union have a robust, special and growing economic cooperation, of which a key pillar is energy cooperation. Not only does India import crude oil and LNG from the region, but is also actively engaged in joint exploration and production activities in some Eurasian countries. There are significant for Indian oil and gas PSUs abroad. Indian PSUs have invested over $16 billion in Russian E&P assets, including Sakhalin-1, Vankonef, and TAS Urak. Sakhalin-1 is one of the most profitable investments overseas. Nayara Energy, a Rosneft-led consortium, invested nearly $13 billion in SR oil, and further plans of its extension areas are under discussion. India is now prepared to accept every challenge as an opportunity too. The rapid growth of the Indian economy to a $5 trillion and its energy needs are nothing short of a revolution. An economy which is growing faster than any other economy, India provides a sui generis model of growth. I welcome you to the India growth story and look forward to mutually beneficial cooperation. As a signal of our intention of intensifying cooperation with these countries of the Eurasian region, a team from our public sector undertakings, ONGC Videsh Limited, is in Baku to attend the forum. I wish you successful deliberations. Thank you. Namaste. My friend, Mr. Igor.
Grazie a lei, Ministro. Thank you very much for your staying with us.
Господин министр, еще раз большое вам спасибо за ваш интересный и исчерпывающий доклад о перспективе.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Minister. Thank you for the interest you've shown in the forum. I would like now to leave the floor to the representative from Mongolia, one of the main Eurasian states. And as we all know, we share a large border with Russia and with China. So Mongolia's position is important for trade routes in the continent. These three countries in 2016 created a project of the so-called Tea route for the new millennium. And being rich in natural resources, Mongolia also needs energy, and so they are developing an important synergy with Russia. So I am very happy to leave the floor to our dear guest, the Minister for Mountain Extraction, Jambar Gambal. Mr. Minister, the floor is yours. Russia and Mongolia, we are working to supply our gas to China, and a new contract has been announced with Rosneft for oil byproducts. So how do you see the role of oil in this current scenario of change in supply chains?
Юуны өмнө Евразийн эдийн засгийн 10 дахь удаагийн форумд оролцож буй зочид төлөөлөгчид та бүхэнд энэ өдрийн мэндийг хүргье. Монгол Улсын засгийн газрын нэрийн өмнөөс уул уурхай хүнд үйлдвэрийн сайдын хувьд энэхүү мэндчлэх завшаан тохиолдсонд баяртай байна. Дэлхийн нийтийг хамарсан COVID-19 цар тахал олон улсын геополитикийн шинэ нөхцөл байдалтай энэ үед Евразийн бүс нутагт нийгмийн эдийн засгийн уламжлалт хамтын ажиллагаанд идэвхтэй оролцож, хамтын ажиллагаагаа бэхжүүлэхийг Монгол улс эрмэлзэж байна. Цар тахлын дараах олон улсын бизнесийн үйл ажиллагаа хангалттай төвшөнд сэргээгүй, геополитикийн улмаас улс хоорондын худалдаа тээвэр санхүүгийн төлбөр тооцооны сүлжээ доголдоход хүрсэн нь манай улсад шууд болон шууд бусаар нөлөөлж байгаа. Энэ нь импортын барааны үн, дотоод үйлдвэрлэлийн зардал, хэрэглээний бүтээгдэхүүнийг дэлхийн ихэнх улс орнуудтай адилаар өсгөхөд хүргэсэн. Манай улсын газрын тосны бүтээгдэхүүний гол нийлүүлэгч Оросын холбооны улс Роснефть компанида төлбөр тооцооны гүйлгээ хийхэд олон улсын хязгаарлалтаа тулгарч байна.
An an increase in consumer prices is taking place in our country as in other countries. And despite all the complex situations as regards our collaboration with Rosneft, which is our key supplier in our country, but we are sure that long-term cooperation will bring about positive results. Mongolia is part of the great Eurasian partnership, the One Belt, One Solution project. Our parliament has adopted the long-term strategy up to 2050, according to regional cooperation and our shared development trends. So industrial development is a key pillar for development, and mountain extraction, 31% of it is copper, then coal, gold, and minerals, and iron minerals, or iron ore. And in the Oila Tolgoi mine, we will start a stable production in 2023. Considering its position, Mongolia would like to become a transit country for transports going from Europe to Asia and vice versa, and from Eastern Asia and Southern Asia. So we are aiming for the development of railways, highways, ports, and border control points according to international standards, aiming for an international cooperation based on an international highway network. This gas pipeline is important, going through Mongolia. It is becoming a reality. The development of all the other infrastructures, all the other renovation projects are seeing the cooperation between Mongolia and other countries. In 2023, we will implement the project to build a hydroelectric power plant in Morel with a collaboration with China and with Russia on the HEC power plant. We are ready to collaborate with all stakeholders within the projects that aim for an ecologic and environmentally friendly development. Considering this forum, the transition to a new economy will grant us new opportunities. So I wish you all a very fruitful forum. Thank you very much. Also thanks to all the participants of this special session and our fellow moderator, Professor Dinkin. We now leave the floor to another session coordinated by Manuela Traldi.